Hello, lovely people. Happy to have you here again. So we continue from our previous tutorial functions. We've discussed functions, basic functions, tutorial 5A, and you have tutorial 5B, return versus print functions with functions. And then over here, we'll discuss functions with parameters. Functions with parameters, very sweet and important topic. So in our last video, if you've not checked that video out, this was a decent explanation on how to use return or print and when they work. Okay, so make sure you check that video out, video 5B on programming with Python series. All right, so this should be video 6. All right, welcome to this class. So we'll talk about functions. So we are creating a file called functions with para or arguments with args, yeah, .py. Okay, so parameters, arguments, they mean almost the same thing. Okay, so let's get something from our previous, yes, we can get this. Okay, so we want to create a function. Okay, and this simple function will provide, we have, this is a variable, of course, this is a variable, this is a variable that holds a first name, and we had coded this first name by, we had coded the first name by using Brenda and the surname by using Santana, right? So this line 4 and line 5, they are called a variable. So this is a variable, an assignment operator, and the value, right? And this is a string variable because of the name, it's a text, not a number, right? So, but in this particular tutorial, we will not focus on that. We don't want to hard code the first name for the user. We don't want to be doing that, Another way could have been using input like we discussed in our previous video, enter a first name. Yeah, this could have solved the problem, but this is not our focus here. So if we have enter a last name and we print that function, will still print. So let's print full name. Okay, so we will still print what we desire for us. Why is that? So let's fname, full name, function, full name. Okay, so we missed something. Yeah, so it prints, let me clear this so that, let me clear that. So see what it prints. Enter a first name, and I'm entering Brenda, and entering Santana, and that's it, Brenda Santana. So we could have added something like this and this, to make it beautiful, and this and here. So we enclose that, right? And we have my full name, and this is perfect with inputs, right? So Charles, yeah, Barley. So my full name is Charles Barley, right? So this looks good with input, but this is not what we want to do. We don't want to be the one assigning anything here on the function. We actually want the user who calls the function to be the one providing the details for the function. So let's comment this out. So I'm using a multi-line comment. All right, so we comment this out and I still need this. So I'm taking it up here. We are having more breathing space here. So their full name. So we want a situation where we allow the user to supply the full name. So we cut out that if that's first name and place it within this. Let me just give you space. So we cut out that F name we had here. We had F name here, okay? So we remove it and put it on the brackets. So we call these arguments. Sometimes I call it parameters. So a function now has parameters. The functions we'll be working on before now, this one, for example, did not have any arguments within it. It did not have any parameters. So anything within this bracket is called argument, right? So, but this one does. So it's a way of sending data from a function creation to a function calling. I don't know if that English was correct. All right. So, yeah. So, but just take it. It is what it is, right? So, fname, you are sending the variable from where you actually create the function to where you will call the function. You will see how we will use that variable where we call that function, right? So that's our fname. And we also cut out the sname. We have comma here and sname, right? So we cut that out as well. And so we are free to remove this line. So our function becomes very simple, and you see we don't have any errors. Okay, so we created a function with arguments or parameters. Yeah. Let me call it data, parameters, data, or variables inside the function brackets, parentheses, so to say. So arguments, data or variables inside of a function. Yeah. So that's what we mean. So we have created the function. Now the function has some things inside of its brackets. So these are called parameters, a function with parameters, so with function with arguments. So when we call this function full name like this, there is a problem if we do that. So Python will not give us Visual Studio will not give us the error beforehand, but there is a problem. If we try to print this out, type error, full name missing 2 required positional arguments, fname and sname. Why is that? So you created full name here and it wasn't with empty brackets. So you are expected to provide the exact same number of arguments that were provided when you created this function here, when you are calling the function, right? So some of my students make the mistake of also providing fname and sname here. This is wrong. This is really wrong. And when you tell them it's wrong, the best they can do is to add quotes here and add quotes here, and this becomes something else. So if you print this, you see it prints. What did it print? Anything? It should print something. Full name, return. So it didn't print something. So in this case, for simplicity, now let's just use print here for simplicity. Okay, I don't want to complicate the print on line 7 for now, so we keep things simple. So we use print here. My bad. All right, so if we print, it will just print fname, sname for us, which is not proper. Some of them make the mistake of not even adding that. So this is not what you expect to do, right? That's an error, right? So when you create a function with variables or with data in it, you are actually sending the data. And when calling the function, you are expected to call the function with real data. Can I call that real, actual data? Actual data. Okay, your actual data. Your actual data. Let me just put it that way, I think. So your actual data for first name might be somebody, might just be Elizabeth Joe. Okay, so you've provided Elizabeth as first name and Joe as S name, and this will work. So Elizabeth Joe works very well, right? So this is how to provide it. Again, you have to understand the type of data that was sent. say we also sent age here, and you are free to now use 18 here, because you understand that age is, let's add it here. You understand that age is an integer. So you are free to use 18 there, and it's saying Elizabeth Joe 18. Okay, this works very well. All right. So yeah, you can pause the video, try to understand, ask questions on the comment section. It's not always easy to get it right the first time. So I hope I'm not too fast. All right, so we can improve this a bit by making this to be a return statement, so that we can add some stuff here. So here we print, and we print, and we have our F format keyword there. We close it here. And because this is just like a variable, the function thing, so we have it like this. All right. So you are free to now say here are my details, my quick details. Okay, and you can even break it. How do you break here? How do you even break here? Yep. So back and new line. All right, we'll solve the problem. All right, so let's see how that goes. Oh, unmatched what? Am I making a mistake somewhere? Let's see. Oh, am I making a mistake somewhere? Let's see, carry this up a bit. Oh, let's see that, let's see that. Let's see. Here are my details. Here are my details. What's the unmatched there? Here, who can solve this for me? Let me remove this first and make sure it works. Unmatched, Elizabeth. Are we getting anything wrong? Okay. Elizabeth was working before, so why the unmatched? If name is that. Okay, okay. So that's bad from me. So this should be yeah. That solves the problem. So we had the concatenation, the how do you call it? Escape character issue. So it was having issues with one quote, single quote there, and we have another single quote there. So that was the issue. Okay, so we still have our backslash here, and that should work. New line, and let's take it back to UK. All right, so that should work. So here are my details, Elizabeth, Joe, whatever, right? So we can improve it further by coming over here and saying my first name is, yeah, let me just make it simple. My full name is, and I am 8 years old. Full stop. So we can drag this down. So we don't need this anymore. Okay. So we can just remove that and have this as simple as ABC. So yeah, let's go there. So if we run this again, so it shows my full name is Elizabeth Joe and I am 18 years old. So you see the different ways we can manipulate this and make it look really good, right? I hope you understand functions with arguments, functions with parameters. Let's just work on a second one, very simple. Functions args to py quickly with numbers, okay? So we have simple calculator, build a simple consolator. Yeah, couldn't spell that. All right, so def sum, yeah. Oh yeah, sum, def sum is fine. So we have numbers n1, n2. So it should add two numbers, right? And it should simply return n1 plus, am I too fast? Sorry, the video doesn't have to be too large as well. So you can save your data as you watch. Difference, okay, and this should be minus. We have products, so this will be times. So notice that product in mathematics, if you are multiplying two numbers, it shouldn't be x, okay? It shouldn't be times per se. It should be asterisk. So, and what other one? Difference products. How do you call division? Just call it division. This is not English. Okay, so that works. And we have one more remainder. So people are not really aware of this one. So you use a percentage sign and that works. So if calling the functions, right? So we have the liberty of providing any two numbers, okay? And everything will work smoothly, okay? So one way we could have done this, we would do this, would be to have the numbers differently as we call them, but that is not really efficient. So yeah, so we have another one, difference product. Sorry about that. Yeah, product. Yep, and what other thing? Division and was it remainder? Yeah. All right. So with these numbers, remember you no longer use n1 and n2. So let's just use 7 and 3. So 7 and 3. So we can change this product. Okay, we can make it 4 and 5. Okay, let's maintain our 7 and 3 and 7 and 3. So I tell you what these are. So which will print for us, and we forgot to add print to each of them. Okay, so there is one thing I use. So I've copied that. And if you have several things to just implement the same thing, what you do is you click on the first one without holding anything. Then from the second one, you hold down your alternate while clicking on the rest. Alternate. I'm showing you a shortcut now. So you just paste what you have and it pastes for all of them. And the good news is that you can even edit for all of them and take it back to what it was. Okay, so let's do that here. So I click on the first one, then I hold down my alternate, 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 and I just type that. So that works, including this one. So if we play this, so it just shows us products, sum. Okay, the first one is, let me clean this up, it's so ugly. Functions py, functions with 2.py, right? So the first one is 7 plus 3, which is 10. The second one is 7 minus 3, which is 4. The third one is we actually change the numbers. That's the grace. You can change it as you want. 4 times 5, which is 20. And division is 7 divided by 3 is actually 2.3, maybe infinity. And the remainder is always confusing a bit. So the remainder is actually 7 divided by 3. So what is 7 divided by 3 is 2. That is for 6. Then remainder 1. And it's actually the remainder that is being shown here, right? So you understand? So 7 divided by 3 is 2, remainder 1. So it writes the remainders, okay? So when you use this sign, it just shows the remainder. Okay, so this is one way of doing it. Another way you could have done this would have been to just have our here, somewhere here, just have our N1 as something, maybe 20, N2 as 15, just say. So we've declared those variables, and over here, we use them right away, N1, N2, N2, okay? Oh yeah, N1, N2. So let me just do it for all of them using that approach I told you. So I've highlighted that one. I hold down my alternate. I highlight the rest. I highlight the rest. Wow. And you paste. And there you go. So everything works smoothly. So let's run that again. So let me clear this screen. I hate ugly screens. All right. So it prints for us. For the first one, it prints 10 plus 15, which is 35. 10 minus 15, which is 5. 10 times 15, yeah, 300. 10 divided by 15, 1.3. And then remainder is 5. 10 divided by 15 is 5. Remainder 5, right? Okay. Um, so so we proceed from there. Just to show you, you could have done this as well to make it nicer. I mean, I'll just show you for one. It's not a terrible compulsion that you have to do that. So you could have said some, just make it look nice for all of them. So you have some difference and the rest of them, right? So this is it for our functions with arguments, and it's really lovely. You can decide to use print statements here, but it's okay to use return, and you print actually when you need them. You can actually hard code your provide the data here directly, or you have variables that they look at and they use the same variable. So this is pretty much what we have for you at Zizix on on this tutorial. I love you all. Remain blessed. Just make sure you practice. Practice makes perfect. Okay, especially in software engineering, especially in programming, practice makes perfect. Okay, so practice. I love you all. See you in my next video. Thank you very much. Bye.